Hello my dear students of class 11. Yesterday you knew something about the poem John Brown. The poet of John Brown is Bob Dylan. Now I am going to explain stanza wise. Here stanza wise explanation is going to start. So please open your book and put your fingers on each and every line and try to understand. Here John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. His mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. His mama's face broke out all in a grin. The poet has not given any introduction of the man. Begins the story abruptly without any proper introduction. The poet Bob Dylan begins the tale abruptly without any proper introduction. First of all, you must know this poem is written in ballad form. John Brown poem is written in ballad form. Ballad means a long song or poem that tells a story. Ballad, a long song or poem that tells a story. Without any introduction, the poet has started the story. A man named John Brown. The name of the man is given John Brown. A man named John Brown went off to war in a foreign country. The poet has not given any details of war, where it was being fought and when it was fought. It is done deliberately to make it a general event. It could be any time, any place and any war. So no description is given by the poet Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan has not given any description. We can say that it could be any time, the war could be any time, any place and any war. Here his mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform and all. His mama's face broke out all in a grin. There is no typical meaning here in this stanza. John Brown's mother wanted her son to be a soldier. She wanted her son to be a soldier. She wanted to see him in a soldier's uniform, holding a gun and winning medals in the war. Winning laurels, meaning winning medals in the war. So when she saw him in the uniform holding a gun, a smile spread across her face. His mama's face broke out, covered with all in a grin. A smile spread across her face when she saw his son in the uniform holding a gun. "Oh son, you look so fine. I'm glad you are a son of mine. You make me proud to know you hold a gun. Do what the captain says. Lots of medals you will get, and we will put them on the wall when you come home." Very simple line. Very simple stanza. She told her son that he looked charming and attractive in his uniform, and that she was really proud of the fact that he was her son. She was really proud of the fact that he was her son. Her advice to him, she advises her son that he should obey his captain, commander. He should obey his captain or commander and win lots of medals. She said that they would display all the medals on the wall when he returned home victorious. When he will come back after defeating the enemies and will become victorious, he will bring so many medals and we will put them on the wall. It seems that the mother was oblivious of the dangers. She did not know how the war is horrible and terrible. It seems that mother was oblivious of the dangers to her son's life. As he was going in foreign country for a war, she did not know how the war is horrible. She yearned for fame and glory only. She only longed for fame and glory. As that old train pulled out, John's mom began to shout, telling everyone in the neighborhood, "That's my son that's about to go. He is a soldier now, you know." She made well sure her neighbors understood. As the train left, she told everyone in the neighborhood that her son was going to the battlefield. She ensured that her neighbors knew it perfectly well. She ensured that her neighbors knew it perfectly well. From the speaker's tone, it becomes clear that she is one of those women who want to make their neighbors jealous. She went each and every home and told that her son has gone to the battlefield. What was the intention behind it? The intention was clear, that she want to make their neighbors jealous in some way or the other. She is afflicted from a false sense of pride. She is afflicted from a false sense of pride. She got a letter once in a while and her face broke into a smile as she showed them to the people from next door, and she bragged about her son with his uniform and gun. And these things you call a good old-fashioned war. We are told that John's mother received an occasional letters from her son which always made her feel happy and proud. Time to time his son used to send her letters. Occasionally, letter from her son she got, which always made her feel happy and proud. Whenever she received a letter from her son, she felt proud and happy as well. She showed these letters to all the person in her neighborhood. She showed these letters to all the neighbors, all the persons in her neighborhood. She would boast of her son's glory in the uniform. Bragged means boasted. She showed this letter to all the persons. She would boast of her son's glory in the uniform. In fact, she wanted to prove that war was not something obsolete and old-fashioned. She wanted to prove that war was not obsolete and old-fashioned. She believed in heroic concept of war. She believed in heroic concept of war. She was not old-fashioned. Those who believe that war is futile, war is worthless. After that, then the letter ceased to come for a long time. They did not come. They ceased. Ceased means stop. To come for about 10 months or more. Then a letter finally came saying, "Go down and meet the train. Your sons are coming home from the war." Then she received no letter from her son for over 10 months. Then suddenly she received a letter. It was written in it that she should go to the station to receive her son who was coming home from the battlefield. A letter has come. A letter came in which it was written that her son was coming from the battlefield and she should go to the station to meet him. That the letter was not from her son was something alarming. That the letter was not from her son. It was not written by her son. It was written by another person. That the letter was not written from her son was something alarming. She alarmed. But John's mother, in her excitement, paid no attention to it. She was very excited because she had got the letter after a long time, after 10 months. So she paid no attention to it. But John's mother, in her excitement, paid no attention to it. She smiled and went right down. She looked everywhere around, but she could not see her soldier's son in sight. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. When she did, she could hardly believe her eyes. She wasted no time and went to the station. She looked everywhere around, but she could not spot her son anywhere. When all the people had gone and the station became emptied, her eyes fell upon her son. She could hardly believe what she saw. She could hardly believe what she saw. Oh, his face was all shot up and his hand was all blown off, and he wore a metal brace around his waist. He whispered kind of slow in a voice she did not know, why she couldn't even recognize his face. She was shocked to see that her son's face was greatly damaged. She could not believe it, because her son's face was greatly damaged. Her face was deformed. His face was deformed by shooting, by bullets, by shooting. He had lost one of his hands. He wore a metal brace around his waist. He spoke very slowly in a manner that his mother could not recognize his voice. In fact, she could not even recognize his face. So disfigured, so deformed it was. The face was entirely disfigured. Oh Lord, not even recognize his face. Oh, tell me, my darling son, pray, tell me what have they done? How is it you come to be this way? He tried his best to talk, but his mouth could hardly move, and the mother had to turn her face away. She was anxious to know. She was very anxious. She was worried to know what they had done to him, and how he was so grievously hurt, seriously hurt. John tried his best to speak, to talk, but he could hardly move his mouth. He was unable to move his mouth. There was no movement on his mouth. He could hardly move his mouth. His condition was so bad and repulsive that even his mother turned her face away. Very difficult to recognize the face. His condition was so repulsive, so bad, that even his mother turned her face away. Don't you remember, Ma? When I went off to war, you thought it was the best thing I could do? I was on the battleground, you were home, acting proud. You wasn't there, standing in my shoes. He says, John Brown reminded his mother the time when he went to war, and how she thought it was the best thing that had happened in his life. He said that while he was in the thick of war, she was at home. When he was in the thick of war, she was at home, pretending to be proud. Pretending to be proud. He wished she should have been in his place. He wished, John Brown wished, that she should, means his mother should have been in his place to know what fighting really was. How the war is horrible. what fighting really was. She knew if she would be at his place. Oh, and I thought when I was there, God, what I am doing here? I am in a tyranny. I am trying to kill somebody or die trying. But the thing that scared me most was when my enemy came close and I saw that his face looked just like mine. He says, John said that when he was on the battlefield, he wondered what he was doing there. Trying to kill somebody or die doing so. He got frightened when the enemy soldier came and stood in front of him. He found his face resembled his. There was no difference between John Brown and the face of the enemy. It scared him and made him think in what way he was his enemy and why he should kill him. He thought there, why he should kill him. Oh Lord, just like mine. And I couldn't help but to think through the thunder rolling and stink that I was just a puppet in a play. And through the roar and smoke, this string is finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes away. He says, on realizing a kinship with the enemy soldier, kinship with the enemy soldier, John could not help thinking in the midst of continuous gun roar and stink that he was just a puppet in a show. He was nothing in the battlefield except a puppet. Just like a puppet show, controlled by someone from afar. Controlled by someone from afar. At that time, in the loud noise and smoke, he failed to play his part, and a cannonball took his eyes away. At that time, in the loud noise and smoke, he failed to play his part, and a cannonball took his eyes away. These lines clearly expresses anti-war sentiments. Soldiers are mere puppets. They kill or get killed without knowing what cause they were fighting for. As he turned away to walk, his mom was still in shock. This is the last stanza, students. As he turned away to walk, his mom was still in shock at seeing the metal brace that helped him stand. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close and he dropped his medals down into her hand. John turned away to walk. His mother was still in a shock. She continued to stare at the metal brace around his waist that helped him stand up. She continued to stare at the metal brace around his waist that helped him stand up. As he turned to go, he called his mother to come closer. As she did so, he dropped his medals down into her hand. These medals are the symbol of so-called glory won in the war. but the price paid for these medals is too high. The poet thus debunks the notion of the romantic attractiveness of war. These medals are symbol so-called glory won in the war, but the price paid for this medal is too high. By this way, the poem is completed. If you have any problem, students, please ask me without any hesitation. Thank you so much.